Thank you for tuning in once again to his Vine and Victory podcast. My name is Kurt Olson. I'm your host. I'm coming to you on the afternoon of December 17, 2025. And just three things quickly I want to just bring to your attention. And the first one is this Donald Trump post on Monday about Rob Reiner. And for folks, I'm sure folks are familiar by now that Rob Reiner and his wife were just brutally killed last weekend in Southern California. Um, Police have one of their children, one of their sons, in custody for the murder of Rob and his wife, Michelle. And it's one of those things where um, Donald Trump goes to social media and puts together this 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 heartless response. It's ugly. It's a bad look. It's certainly unpresidential, and it's one of the things about this man that ever since he emerged on the scene 10 years ago, 10 plus years ago, is one of the things that just bothers me the most about him. And and there are people in the Trump hemisphere that just explain it away as mean tweets. This is worse than a mean tweet. This is stomping on a man's grave. This is spitting on a man's grave. This is, you know, it's lack of dignity. It's lack of grace. It's and frankly, it's lack of integrity on behalf of the president. And I can have disagreements with this guy on policy because, as I've argued many times, I do not believe Donald Trump is a conservative, and he's governing at times like one, and many times not like one. And but this is the kind of behavior um, that just just convinced me he was unworthy of the office. And the, the GOP had so many other high quality options in 2016. That was a large field of 20 plus candidates, including some really good governors: Scott Walker, Rick Perry, and even Bobby Jindal down from Louisiana. And all of them were passed over, and the final field was Donald Trump and the sitting senator Ted Cruz. And just there were so many good options then, and a lot of this could have been avoided. But um, that's in the past. But just bad look, and the worst. Uh, I'm sure Trump could be worse, but it's one of the areas that he is um, not on his best, not at his best. Secondly, we have the Erica Kirk Candace Owens powwow that emerged in the last couple days. Erica Kirk goes to social media, and she is talking about how she and Candace are going to kind of just get together and hash some things out. And they get together for 4.5 hours, and boom, you know, supposedly all is well. Well, Candace Owens has gone on the air since when they didn't have the entourages and the cameras. And for me, as someone who has been a part of the conservative movement in this country, because I regard myself a genuine conservative. Small government, strong family policy, uh, uh, economic issues, things that would promote not just the well-being of families, but businesses, across the board. Strong military, the whole nine yards. Um, Candace Owens is a fraud, and and she's a con woman. She's been trying to paint herself as someone who's this loyal foot soldier on the right, and she's anything but. In fact, I could make the very strong case that she's done more damage in the last 10 weeks than Trump has ever done to the conservative movement in the last 10 years. Um, just division and chaos she has inflicted at a time when um, conservatives had a need to be united and focused and deliberate in what they were doing, and it's been anything but. And she's held help from some others, but um, she goes to social media yesterday, and she just starts saying a bunch of things. And for me, because of the damage she's done, anything short of repentance, anything short of her turning and going in a different direction, um, is all show, no substance. Dog and pony show. Attempts to put lipstick on a pig. And that's where all of that sits. The last thing here is the events of last Saturday and Sunday. With Saturday, late morning, very early afternoon, you have someone that goes into a classroom on the University of Brown University in Providence, Rhode Island, and just opens fire, kills two people, injures eight others, and no one's arrested. It's like this Ivy League school with all kinds of money that they can't track the person who actually did this. Um, so that's just an ugly scene there. And then um, Sydney, Australia. Hours later on Bondi Beach in Sydney, Australia, um, dozens of Jews were celebrating Hanukkah, which had started, and gunfire breaks out. And we are coming to learn that there is a Pakistani father and son who are the alleged shooters there. And it, the West needs to have a conversation about Islam. This is long overdue. This is long overdue. Because if a group of Christians invaded some celebration or recognition of Ramadan and interrupted that way, as with violence as these two did in Sydney, we might as well be starting the next crusades, because it would be ugly. Um, and around the world right now, in the West, throughout Europe, Australia, massive Muslim migration has been unfolding. And I, the West is going to have to come to grips with this. And we're going to have to decide, are we going to continue to be identified by the culture that we have been of being governed by a constitution, promoting or whatever vestiges it still exists in this country of freedom and liberty, and promoting basic civil rights and the Bill of Rights and the ideas of the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution? Or are we going to be a society that allows these people to come in and take over and chant death to America, chant um, we will replace the Constitution with Sharia law, and regard that as no threat somehow? And even in Europe, same kind of thing is unfolding. If you are on X and you follow certain accounts, I'm going to name two, um, Radio Genoa and Vice Grad. Those are two of the best sites that I have seen for um, real time information that's going on right there, right now, and boom, you can see it. And just this morning, I'm taping this on the 17th. Just this morning, I saw two locations. So, the largest terrorist attack in Australian history happens in Sydney. In Melbourne, Australia, yesterday or early today, um, the 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 post I saw was dated the 17th, so it would have happened early in the day on Wednesday in Australia on the other side of the world. A cathedral is surrounded by Muslims. That isn't an act of provocation, especially during the Christmas season. And then I saw another one where there were some Muslims in Helsinki, Finland. Helsinki, Finland, where a group of Muslims climbed the stairs, and it wasn't packed like the entire ring around the cathedral in Melbourne, Australia was. But there were a variety of Muslims that had climbed steps of a cathedral in Helsinki, Finland, and again, an act of provocation. And the question, we have to come to grips with some basic things about Islam. And you know, people are going to sit here and say, "Well, Olson, you know what? You're xenophobic. You just don't like foreigners." Wrong. Um, I know many people from other countries, and got no issues. But I do have an issue with a group of people that chant "Death to America." Imams in this country that have no desire to promote American ideals and their people assimilating in our country and culture. And this is a conversation that's long overdue because Islam is totally incompatible with liberty and freedom. Because what do they talk about? The, the people in Islam who desire peace, they don't have influence, they don't have power. So the people that are generating the most noise and activity are the people that want to conquer, dominate, and make Jews, Christians, Hindus, Buddhists, you name it, anyone in their way must submit or die. That's the way they talk. And if you were paying attention during when ISIS was having their their reign of terror across parts of Iraq and Syria back in 2013, 14, 15, these guys would just go into towns and they would just behead people and slaughter people, and all kinds of videos we saw at the time. Now, if there are people that want some kind of freedom, great, you're welcome in. But if you want to bring an Islamic theocracy to the United States of America? Sorry, folks. No. The answer is a big fat no. And be prepared for resistance because um, Islam is incompatible with the foundations of the United States of America. They don't promote liberty, they don't promote freedom, and they certainly don't want religious freedom. Um, so that's all I have this week. But those issues are huge, and they are prominent right now. So as we are approaching the holidays, Christmas and New Year's, thank you for those who watch. If you like what you're seeing, please share it. If you like what you're reading with my column, please share it. And we'll see what happens with the Christmas season and how all of that unfolds here. But until next time, God bless and goodbye.